Yes, boys. So I know some people don't like the Loom style videos, and some people absolutely love the Loom videos. So the people that like me going all guru mode and giving some source, this video is for you guys. We're gonna break down exactly what you need to make sure you're doing as an appointment setter regarding like SOPs and like data tracking and stuff like that. Because this is the stuff that will make you a killer. I just got back from Birmingham. Another weekend we did a mastermind. We did a boxing seminar, went out for drinks, even though we was all drinking water, but we went out for drinks and we was all dancing, we had steaks. And then we did a mastermind on the Sunday. And one of the things that I said in the mastermind, in fact, I think you guys will see the mindset video. I'm not going to post the more strategic stuff, but I'll post the mindset video here on YouTube. In order to truly succeed in life, I believe that it requires 100% effort. And to me, 100% effort this doesn't have to be like over a prolonged period of time. It could literally just be a season where you're obsessed with achieving your goal. And 100% effort to me doesn't just look like, you're working. It also means taking the time out of your day instead of just working here when you're unproductive. Cut that part of work out, so keep you work here to here. And then this part here, instead of just working, we'll use that to sharpen the axe. Got that's a whole axe. You've got the axe. Use this time here to sharpen the axe so that you can be more efficient when you come back and start tomorrow. This is the stuff that you need to be doing. This is the hard work. It's boring. But if you are truly 100% focused on achieving your goals, the stuff that I'm going to be teaching you in this video is the stuff that you need to do as an appointment setter. You have to. It's gonna make such a big difference. This is how you are going to crush the competition on a long enough time frame. So, first of all, the most important one, to be honest, is just tracking your data, because the data doesn't lie. And on a long enough time frame, having data makes it unreasonable for you not to win. You can't lose when you've got data backing you. The data is going to show you exactly what works and what doesn't work when it comes to your appointment setting. So it's super important that you're tracking this, boys. If you're not tracking your data, then you could be leaving so much money on the table. Let me give you an example, right? So I was running an outbound campaign recently for alpha setters. You've probably heard me talk about this alpha setter campaign a lot, this outbound campaign. So out of 120 messages, I collected maybe like 17 leads. 120 outbound messages. Let me just make that clear. I collected 17 leads and I made 4 sales myself personally. Or was it 5? It might even be 5 now. We're gonna say it was 4. I made 4 sales from 120 messages, which is a very, very, very healthy conversion rate of outbound to new paying customers. And when I was doing outbound, I sent 40 messages per day. So 40, 40, and 40. That's 120 messages right there. And then on all of these, using the CRM that I'm going to show you in a second, I split tested my data. What does split testing mean? It means it's like in science when you'd be controlling the variables. It's exactly the same as that. So basically, we're sending the same amount of messages. We're controlling that variable, but we're changing something about the message every single time. And we're testing to find what message performs the best. And all of the major companies in the world, it's all about split testing. Like all of like the $1 million e-commerce brands that you all know, they all split test like 20 different ads. They make the same advert, but they'll change the font, they'll change the color, they'll change something about it. They'll change something about the ad and they'll find the best performing one. You've got to do this with your appointment setting as well, whether it's warm inbound, whether it's warm outbound, whether it's cold outbound. I don't care what part of sales you're in. You can split test this. You can even do this in that door-to-door sales if you want to. I mean, I definitely don't think it would hurt you. So I'll split test in different message. So message 1, I think that got something like 16 replies or something along those lines. Not too bad. Actually, wait, no. And this one got like 12, this one got like 16, and this one got 19 replies. Yeah, that's the one. 12, 16, 19. They were all the same message pretty much, but I was just changing words. The difference between this message and this message was literally one word. I changed one word in the message and almost doubled the reply rate. The message went from like just over 25%. It went from like 27% or something to actually crushing a 47.5% response rate on cold outbound. Changing one word, literally one word of that message, helped me make double the amount of revenue. There's going to be so many people out there that are appointment setting, whether you're dialing leads on the phone, whether you're sending outbound messages, whether you're applying to inbound leads. There's going to be so many people that are one emoji, one punctuation mark, one word away from literally doubling their commissions as an appointment setter, but they wouldn't know because they're not trying new things, they're not testing, and they're not letting the market give them feedback. You know, you can ask me, oh yeah, tell me, what do you think of this message? I can tell you, I think it's great, I think it's shit. But at the end of the day, we're never going to know whether the message is actually good until the market gives us feedback. And that's what the data is for. When you've got all of the data in there, in a spreadsheet, telling you exactly, this message is good, but this message is even better, we're taking the guessing out of sales. It just becomes logical. It becomes a logical game. And that's why you need to be doing this. So tracking your data is super, super important, and it's going to make everything else a lot easier. So in order to effectively track your data, you need a good CRM system. Alpha Outbound Pro, this is what we use in Alpha Setters. I mean, there's loads of fancy CRM softwares out there. You can make your own Google Sheet like I did. Find what works for you. I've used expensive CRMs. I've been paying £200 a month for a CRM before, and it was just slow, and I didn't like it, and it wasn't what I needed. I've built Alpha Outbound Pro to be exactly what I need. So we've got all of these different boxes, and depending on the client, depending on the campaign that we're running, we'll customize it, we'll change it around. But this is what the standard version looks like. So you'll get someone, YouTube subscriber. So you, the YouTube subscriber that's watching my video right now, you'll be a lead, and then we'll add your contact information. We'll add what day did we add you into the CRM, and now at the moment you're a lead. Any lead sections are moved over. So if you're a lead right now, and then I qualify you, and I click on qualified, boom, and now you moved over to the qualified box. And it makes it really easy for our appointment setters to prioritize leads, because they'll prioritize from this side. They'll prioritize the people that they've booked in, the people that they've sent a calendar to, the people that they've sent case studies to, and they're about to book in. They're not going to prioritize the fresh leads over here that are not really ready to buy yet. They're going to prioritize the people that are literally ready to be advanced along the process. So I really like this CRM. I coded it literally myself with the help of ChatGPT. You can go away and use ChatGPT to code your own CRM. Like you literally just go here, extensions, app scripts, and you can literally add code and make a spreadsheet just sick. This is how I've coded mine. Like the visuals and stuff could definitely be better because I'm not some expert graphic designer. I don't really care. It does its job. But this is the CRM. And because I can keep things so organized, it makes it so easy to track the data. Split test. We've got a split test page at the end here where it just shows you just put the message, how many messages did you send, and how many replies did you get? And then it'll just tell you the percentage conversion rate. Boom, boom, boom. You can see that this one's 11% and this one's 3%. So the data tells me that they like this one a lot better. And then I might make a couple of different variations of this exact message. So I might just make the same message and just add hey to the start and remove the question mark at the end and see if that performs any better. Now, obviously, none of these are real messages that I've actually tested. This is all just examples. So don't go and copy these messages because I don't think you're going to get very far. But this is literally what you do. Just split test everything, and then the data will tell you whether it works or not. Warm outbound, inbound, cold outbound, whatever it is. I don't care what you're doing. You can split test something. You can split test as well. Even things like when you're sending them the calendar link, or when you're proposing to book a call, you can split test that message. Instead of like just always being like, oh, let's jump on a call mode, let's see if I can help. You could split test like using their pain point, using their desired situation. You could split test, I'm happy to give you some insights on what all of our other clients are using. If you're free for a quick chat tomorrow morning at 10. You can literally split test different ways of presenting the call. You can split test everything, and the more data that you have, it makes it unreasonable for you to win in the long term. Because imagine, for the next 12 months, you track data every single day, so that 12 months from now, you've got a massive spreadsheet showing you what messages work, what messages don't work. It's a cheat code. It's genuinely a cheat code. It's a massive cheat code for me having alpha setters, and I get everyone's data. But data is literally like, so this data is king. You can't argue with the data. So you need the data. You need it. So that's why it's important to track your data, boys. Data tracking. Next on the agenda, KPI overview. I get my guys to do this once a month. KPI overview. Right. So let me explain. This thing down here. So what I want you to do is I want you to have a look at like where are leads dropping off in the pipeline, and what's the conversion rate? So what's the conversion rate here? What's the conversion rate here? What's the conversion rate here? I want you to know all of the percentages, and you can do that by, you go in here, you go into the Outbound Pro CRM. If you've had 100 leads come through, and then only 20 of them make it to the qualified part, and only 5 of them make it to the VSL part, and then only 5 of those, only 3 of those make it to the booked call part, then okay, 20% are qualified, 5% get to the VSL, and 3% book the call. You can literally see the percentage at every step of the way, right? Bro, you can use this to drastically increase your commissions as an appointment setter. So look at this. Look, this is an example that I've done here. So let's say you're doing cold outbound and the offer is £4,000. Cold outbound, £4,000, and this is per 1,000 leads. Per 100 messages that you send out, let's say you get a 15% reply rate, which would be 150 replies. 13.3 of those people that replied, you propose a call to. You get that far in the conversation. They're qualified and you propose a call. So 20 people. 35% of the people that you ask to, okay, can we have a call? 35% of those actually book a call, so 7. And then out of those people that actually book a call, 2 of those close. And these are super realistic numbers, by the way. These are super realistic numbers. So that would mean every 1,000 messages you send, you make £8,000, or if you're not a business, if you're just a setter, then that means you earn £8,000 for your client, and maybe you get 10%. So that means you make 800 quid. You make 800 quid. You can see the data says that every 1,000 messages that you send, you make 800 quid. Cool. So, I mean, you could even do something there. So it's like 1,000 divided by 80. So you know that every single message that you send, is that even right? That doesn't sound right. I don't know how I've done that. 1,000 divided by 800. Every message that you send, you've earned £1.25. Every message is worth £1.25. Now what you need to do as an appointment setter is you need to find a way to increase the value of every message you send. Because that at the moment, that's like your wage. That's the amount of money you're earning. On average, the data shows, on average, every single message you send is £1.25. Well, imagine if instead of getting paid £1.25 per message, imagine if you got paid £2 per message. Or what if you doubled it completely and got £2.50 per message? That'd be mad, right? Every message, I've just doubled my rate. You can easily send off 10 messages in 10 minutes. So here's what we do. We get a list of all of the data and put this in a format like this. This is how I like to do it. And then we find the weak points and we try and find a way. We set ourselves a target and we try and find a way to increase all of these a little bit. We want to just increase the percentage points. So how can we increase the reply rate from 15% to 20%? We're only increasing the reply rate by 5% there. But already we've got 25% more leads. Boom. And that's not that hard to do. You can definitely do that. If you're doing 15% reply rate, you can definitely split test different messages and you can definitely get it to 20%. You found a message that's doing decent, it's got 15%, do what we did before, make a load of variations of that exact same message, and find a way to make it better. So, 20%. And then instead of only 13% of those you're proposing a call to, you manage to find a way to just increase that by a few percentage points and get it to get it to 17%. Increase it literally by, from there to there, just increase it by four percentage points. Increase it by 4 percentage points. And now, instead of 20 leads. We've got 34. We've already increased now our leads by, like, we're nearing in on double. We're getting towards double. That's like a 75% increase, right? So then we get the next number. Okay, this one's 35%. Well, how can we try and aim to get it to 45? Like, literally get your appointment setters to set a target. How can we get this from 35% to 45%? Add 10 percentage points. Again, experiment, split test. You split test every part of this process. Split test. What messages are we sending? What follow-up messages are we sending? Are we split testing different gifts, different funny appointment setting follow-up lines? Like, what are we doing? Split test it. Split test it and find a way to increase this by 10 percentage points. How many close? Let's see if we can get that up a few points as well. Let's see if we can get the close rate up by another 5 percentage points to get it to market standard. Let's see if we can get it to 33%, one out of three closes. So just by doing this, just by like literally increasing it a tiny bit of percentage points here, a tiny bit of percentage points here, a tiny bit of percentage points here, just by doing that, we've now gone from 1,000 messages bringing in $800 or £800 in commissions to 1,000 messages literally bringing in £2,000 in commissions. You've more than doubled your income. And based off what I've just told you right now, does anything I've just said seem like super far-fetched, super unrealistic? All of those numbers were super, super realistic. Super realistic. Let's say you don't even double it. Let's say you don't even manage to do this where you're, adding 5% here and there, blah, blah, blah. Let's say you just increase it a little bit. I mean, automatically, you're still going to maybe get this from 800 to 1.2K. You can still get your cost per message from £1.25 to maybe £1.50 or £1.75. You know what I mean? It's like people in their jobs, in their actual salary-based jobs, have got to fight for years and years and years to get a pay rise. And then they've got to go have an uncomfortable conversation with their boss just to get told to get lost. Stop being ungrateful. For us in sales, if we want to make more money, we just sit down, we do the maths, and we find out how can we get better. We find out how can we get better when we make more money. It's beautiful. That's what you need to do, boys. I know I'm just giving you some bare sweaty diagrams, and I can see why some people don't like these videos. But for the autists out there that are kind of like me, the data, bro, the data, you just can't argue with it. So we've covered data tracking, KPI overview, follow-ups. Follow-ups, super important, especially if you're doing something like B2B or something like that, where like you're going to focus on building relationships with your leads. You need to have a systemized approach to follow-ups. You're not just remembering to follow up with people, because you're not going to remember everyone. If you're just leaving it to your brain to just luckily remember, you're going to lose so many leads, especially if you're in like B2B or something, where we need to be having multiple touch points. We need to be really like working these leads, building relationships. You've got to have a lot of follow-ups. So use the spreadsheet. Every time you follow up with someone, add it in the spreadsheet. When was the last time you followed up? Okay, the last time I followed up was on the 1st of October 2024. Look, it goes bright red. Goes bright red because wait, what? Why have I not followed up with this guy in 2 weeks? In over 2 weeks, what's going on? The spreadsheet's literally going to remind you to follow up with people. Let's say that you've got a specific date in mind where you want to follow up. Let's say you're going to use the tactical retreat, and then you plan to follow up with them in another 2 days. Add it to the CRM, and the CRM will remind you to follow up in 2 days. So, for example, 18th of the I just realized I did that. That was August. 18th of the 10th, 2024. Cool. And then when it gets to the 18th of the 10th, 2024, it's going to remind you. So like, look, today's the 16th. It goes green to remind you, nigga, follow up with this guy today. Follow up. It goes green to literally remind you. And let's say like I miss it and I forget to follow up, it'll go red again. It'll go red to remind you to follow up with these people. You can't just be leaving it to chance. You have to put follow-ups in the spreadsheet. One of my best appointment setters probably the best appointment setter that's ever worked for me, a guy called Chris. This guy was a G when it comes to following up with people. He'd remember every single lead, every single guy, every single name. But it's because he was just putting it in the spreadsheet, and the spreadsheet told him when to follow up. Do that, your clients will love you. You make it unreasonable for you not to win as an appointment setter. So yeah, follow-ups, boys, super important. Daily reports. Obviously, we know by now every single day, daily report. Okay, how much outbound have you done? How much outreach messages have you done? How many calls have you booked? How many leads are close to booking? This is something that I like to get people to do. And then notes for the day. Like, is there any notes? Is there anything major that happened? Is there anything that's going wrong? Just let us know, notes for the day. Every single day, I want you to send an end of day report to your client without fail. For me, if you're working on one of my offers for one of my agency clients, if you don't send that end of day report, I'm pissed. Swear, I'm pissed. You have to send that end of day report, because we need to know what you're doing. Because us as business owners as well, like, we're telling you do all of this data tracking stuff. You got to understand that business owners operate at such a high level. We all track our KPIs. We all track our data. We can't track our KPIs when it comes to appointment setting without the end of day report. You know what I mean? Like, this is what we need in order to fill in our spreadsheets. Me as an agency owner, in order for me to fill in my spreadsheets, I need to have your end of day report. I need to be able to see that. Because if, like, let's say calls are not getting booked and I don't have end of day report, I don't know why the calls aren't getting booked. Is it because we're not working? Is it because there's a conversion problem? Is it because you're dead? You know, like, I wouldn't know unless I see that end of day report every single day. So make sure to do that, boys. Super important. And then the last point, basically the same thing, but just make sure you communicate with your clients. Make sure you're communicating with your clients. So, like, hey, clients, just an update of how I've been getting on. I've really liked talking to these leads. We've got a load of them booked in this week, so I think that will be a couple of closes. One thing I'm struggling with, however, is the VSL opt-in ads have been really low quality. Like, what can we do to work together to fix this problem? Because at the end of the day, happy client, happy you. Everyone's happy. We want everyone to be happy here. We want everyone to be making money together. We want to be building an empire with the boys. So just make sure to communicate with your client. Don't be ghost. Ask for feedback from your setter manager or your mentor as well. That's a big one. So client comms and also manager comms. It's not the manager's responsibility to babysit you. It's not your mentor's responsibility to babysit you. You know, nothing frustrates me more than just having to really just fight. I'm fighting. I'm using so much energy just to get an update from my own people. Like, bro, I'm here to help you make more money. Please reach out to me and ask questions. Please make my life easier. Please manage your communications. It has to be done, boys. If you want to be a true A player upon Missile, it has to be done. So yeah, there's that video, boys. It's been a sweaty one today. Super nerdy video, but hopefully you guys liked it. Let me know what videos you want to see moving forward, boys. Subscribe for more content like this. And as always, keep going.